Welcome to my channel, friends. If you love fountain pens and pens, then this channel is for you. Kindly subscribe my channel for future updates. In this video, I'll also teach you that how to hold a fountain pen, how to fill ink in fountain pen, how to actually write with fountain pen. And I also talk about parts of fountain pens and a different kind of ink systems that used in different kind of fountain pens, a different kind of nibs, and I also gave you advice that which fountain pen is good for which user. So let's get started. Firstly, let's know about fountain pen parts. For fountain pen parts information, I select this Pilot Metropolitan fountain pen. Let's dismantle it. This is fountain pen cap and this is barrel, common parts. So this is a ink converter. This is squeeze type converter. This is feed and this is nib. This is the main part of fountain pen. For dismantling this, you have to use a rubber for better grip, and let's pull it easily. The feed and this is nib. This is called grip section. I also teach you how to reassemble this fountain pen. You can see this feed has ink channel and this nib also has a ink channel. See, and you hold like this, push it nicely, and yeah, the main work of this feeder is provide ink from converter to nib. The converter you have to put tightly in back side of pen. Let's talk about different sizes of fountain pens. A pocket size fountain pens. As you can see, these all are less than 12 centimeters. These called pocket fountain pens. A regular size fountain pens, as you can see, these all are less than 14 centimeters. This is the most common size in all over world. Medium size fountain pens. As you can see, this is little girthier than regular one fountain pens, and length is normally same as regular pens. Big fountain pens. Currently, fountain pen lovers love big size fountain pens. If I compare it with regular fountain pens, then you see this is very girthier than regular one and very long and also very lengthy than the regular ones. A jumbo size fountain pen. This is the most thicker, jumbo and lengthier pen in my collection. As you can see, if I compare it with a mini pen, so you understand how jumbo this is. If you want my preference, I love this pen because this is very comfortable fountain pen for my big hands. If you have also big hands, then this is also for you. Let's talk about different type of ink systems. A cartridge ink system. This is modern ink system. In this, the tank type cartridge which is full with ink. In this, the tank type cartridge which is full with ink, and you only have to push it in fountain pen and it fits nicely. There we go. A converter ink system. In this, you simply rotate it clockwise or anti-clockwise to fill the ink. You only have to push it, and you also put this whole section in ink and pull ink like this nicely, and there we go, the fountain pen filled with ink. A squeeze type ink system. This system is mostly used in 1950s to 1990s. This is very popular ink system in that time. you only have to dip the pen in ink and squeeze the sac gently 5 to 7 times, and it creates a vacuum and fill the ink nicely. And there we go, a eyedropper ink system. This is the most oldest ink system that used in fountain pens for a long decades. Firstly, you unscrew the section from barrel and you fill ink in fountain pen with the help of a syringe or a dropper. You only have to put ink in this barrel and fill it with ink and apply silicone grease on threads and gently close it, and there we go, the fountain pen is ready for writing. This is only the system that holds ink more than other ink system. A vacuumatic and button fillers. A few fountain pen companies use this type of ink systems in their fountain pens. This is very unique system. Firstly, you only have to remove a back cap from the pen and you only have to push it downward and leave pressure gently, and again do it 3 to 4 times. This helps to fill ink in fountain pen. Create suction and fountain pen filled with ink nicely. A lever filler ink system. In this system, the lever type thing is on fountain pen barrel. You only have to pull it and leave it and do this 4 to 5 times. It has a sac inside the barrel. When you pull the lever outside, it has spring that push it back, so that causes a ink suction and pen full with ink nicely. A piston converter. In this ink system, you only have to rotate the piston anti-clockwise, and you can see after dipping this section in ink, you have to rotate it clockwise, and there we go, pen full with ink. This is most beautiful ink system in the world. A touchdown system. This is only the system which come in some Schaefer fountain pens models. You only have to unscrew the barrel cap and pull it upward and push it back gently downward and close the cap, and it's create vacuum in fountain pen, and there we go. Let's talk about different type of nibs. A hooded nibs. Hooded nibs are those nibs that only the point of nib is out from this section and the remaining part of the nib is covered under this section. These are one of the wettest nibs in the world. A semi-hooded nibs. These are also similar like hooded nibs, but in this the outer part of the nib is more than the hooded nib and half part of the nib is under the cover of the section. These are also wet like hooded nibs. Full nibs. This is the most common nibs that used in most fountain pens. The size of this nib is depend upon the size of the fountain pen. Like big pen with big number 8 nib, a slim pen with a number 5 nib, a regular small type pen with number 4 gold nib, a medium pen with 35 number nib. This is also has 35. A conical and inlaid nibs. As you can see, these nibs are also very rare. These type of nibs are generally used in from 1950s to 2000s. These are very beautiful nibs and they perform well. Some fountain pens has plastic feeds, either some has ebonite feeds. If you like wet writing, so you go for a ebonite feed. If you like little drier nib, so you also go for a plastic feeds. But that doesn't mean plastic feeds are dryers. But some fountain pens that has plastic feeds, that's right, very drier. Material of nibs. One is gold. As you can see in my hand, this is 14 karat gold Schaefer nibs. We also have 21 karat gold nibs, and the second one is the steel nib. This is most commonly used material in fountain pens. Third is titanium. Unfortunately, I don't have that nib in my collection. Sorry for that. Let's talk about nib points. Generally, nibs comes in extra fine, fine, medium, broad and double broad. Some fountain pens company like Kenwright, they also make full flex nibs in steel. They also make architect grind, a oblique, a stub, etc. Like ball pens and gel pens, fountain pen is not right in all directions. Like this, fountain pen has sweet spot on particular side. But some fountain pen has two side sweet spots like this called 180 degree. You have to hold fountain pen in same position when you have to write. I know this is going to be very difficult for some new fountain pen users, but don't worry, I prefer you to use cheap fountain pens like Flair or Luxor or Cello and do practice and practice. To maintain a fountain pen in same position, please note, don't put a lot of pressure on nib because it causes damage to the nib. Anyway, if your fountain pen is good and perform well, then you don't have to put a little bit pressure on it. See, because this is a free flowing and a good fountain pen gave you a effortless writing. As you can see, I don't put a 1% pressure on nib, but this writes nicely on paper. If your handwriting is big and alphabet letter is too much, then go for a double broad or broad nib. It writes excellent and wet. Either if your handwriting is small and the letter size is also tiny, then go for a fine or extra fine nib. This is my personal preference because it writes beautifully in small handwriting. Now you know everything about fountain pen, so let's start a fountain pen journey.